You can say no clearly, calmly, respectfully, and still walk away feeling like you did something wrong, even when your boundary is completely valid. This is something I see a lot with high achievers. You're thoughtful, you're articulate, you're intuitive, you communicate effectively. So when it comes to boundaries, you technically know what to say, and yet in the moment, discomfort sets in. So you hesitate, you soften your delivery, you add extra explanation, or you say yes and then replay it later, wishing you hadn't. Sometimes you even talk yourself out of setting the boundary at all, minimizing your own needs. And afterward, there's this lingering feeling. I shouldn't have said that. That came across wrong. I made things harder, even when none of that is objectively true. A client I worked with described this in a way that captures it perfectly. She was asked to take on an extra project. Not urgent, not her responsibility. She knew she didn't have the capacity, and she said it clearly. I'd love to help, but I don't have the bandwidth for this right now. And that should have been the end of it. But as soon as the conversation ended, her mind took off. Did that sound dismissive? Are they annoyed with me? Should I have just said yes and figured it out later? Her body felt tense. Her thoughts kept circling. Nothing had gone wrong in the interaction, but internally it felt like something had, like she had done something wrong. This is where people usually misinterpret what's happening. You don't just need more practice setting boundaries. This isn't necessarily a lack of skill. It's tied to what saying no actually represents. Because for a lot of high achievers, especially those with perfectionistic tendencies, being easy to work with, dependable, the person who keeps things moving, it served an important role. It helped relationships feel stable. It reduced friction. It shaped how you were perceived by others. So when you say no, your brain isn't just tracking the words, it's tracking what that decision might change, what might be at risk. Tolerating that discomfort is the real challenge here. And this is where anxiety and perfectionism start working together. So perfectionism sets the expectation. Be helpful whenever you can. Be thoughtful and consider everything and everyone. Stay on top of 10 million things and don't drop the ball. Don't create inconvenience for anyone, even if it means sacrificing your own needs. And then anxiety monitors for anything that could disrupt that. It scans for reactions, replays conversations, tries to predict outcomes. So when you say no, even in a way that makes complete sense, you're actually stepping outside of a pattern that has likely worked for you. A pattern that's helped you feel respected, included, valued. And now there's a glitch. So your brain starts scanning, what just changed? Did that affect how I'm seen? Is there something I need to fix now? That's the tension you feel. And for many people, this goes deeper than the moment itself. So if you learned early on to be the one who adapts, who keeps things easy, who doesn't ask for anything, then being the person who needs something can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. So when you set a boundary, it's not just a decision. It can feel like stepping outside of a role that has shaped how you relate to people. And your system reacts to that shift, as if something important might be at stake. So instead of trying to force yourself to just be better at boundaries, I want you to approach this differently. Number one, identify the meaning your brain assigns to saying no. After you set a boundary, notice the first interpretation that shows up. I inconvenienced them. I disappointed them. They're upset with me. That meaning is what drives the emotional reaction. Number two is let the interaction stand without adjusting it. Notice the urge to go back and fix it, to clarify, to soften, to add more context. This week, pause before doing that. Let the original boundary stand on its own. And number three, practice having needs in low stakes moments, not the situations that feel most loaded. Start smaller, express a preference, decline something minor. Take a little more time before responding. You're giving your system new evidence that being a person with limits doesn't automatically create problems. Saying no isn't just about communication. For a lot of people, it challenges a long-standing pattern of how you learn to stay connected, respected, and understood. So it makes complete sense that it feels uncomfortable. But over time, the shift isn't about saying no perfectly. It's about no longer needing to override yourself to maintain how you're perceived. Because when your needs consistently get pushed aside, that doesn't create stability. It creates self-abandonment. And boundaries are one of the ways of creating more self-respect. If this resonated, I'm curious what stood out most for you. Was it the moment you said no? or everything that happened afterwards? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to go deeper into this work, my book Unpacked is linked below. It walks through how these patterns develop and how to start shifting them in a way that actually sticks.